No intro here, guys, because this is too hectic. Immediately start by nading that dude on the right if you can. Nade the guy at the top, and then kill the guy on top of the boxes. And then you're going to come across this wonderful shield person who's a nightmare. But if you've got a grenade launcher, you can kill him. The moment you do, move over here into cover and fire a grenade onto the balcony. Normally, you'll kill both of them. I get really unlucky here, and it doesn't kill both, so I have to hit them with the pistol. But at this moment, there's a heavy coming towards us, and there's another dude, so be very careful, because if you get flanked, he'll instantly kill you. He's got a shotgun, and he wants to use it. So, two guys here. Hit him with a pistol as much as you can. You can use grenades if you've got them left. There's a plenty of guns at your disposal here if you have to grab one. But the moment you kill this dude and the guy on the balcony, you need to move to the other side or you're about to get sprayed down because they spawn on this balcony across from you. I use a grenade to try and hit the sniper, but it doesn't work and I'm about to get rushed. The good news is, the sniper hesitates for some reason. He has to finish his prayer like that dude in Saving Private Ryan. But kill the guy rushing you, kill the guy across from you, and then there's one more guy on the balcony and you've done this sequence. This can be a nightmare though, it can be very technical, very tricky, but as long as you know where people come from, stay ahead of the game and win. I am Seraphim17, this is Uncharted 3 on Brutal. This is Chapter 15, Sink or Swim. The rest of this level, I think, is just environmental traversal stuff. There's not too much challenge now, you've kind of crushed the challenge that was waiting for you, and the remnants here are pretty simple. And I think the next challenging fight is probably going to be the caravan. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be some tricky fights up to there, but you're not going to suffer, I don't think. I think you're going to do just fine. But the caravan is a really rough checkpoint, and then of course the sandstorm is a miserable fight, because you can't see, and it doesn't work both ways, which I think is bad. But once again, I've got a decent strategy that should get you through. You have to mash a button here to get the thing off you, and then you have to swim towards a vent that's almost invisible with the new lighting scheme. And when I came back to play this on Crushing, I died here about 10 times because I couldn't figure out where the fuck I was meant to go. Anybody have that experience? That was really bad. I was getting super frustrated, and all I had to do was swim towards that dark corner and press triangle. Who knew? Definitely not me. But that's the vent. It's pretty tough to see. But if you know where to go, then you're fine, aren't you? You'll not have any issues. But at this point, the tough fights left, as I mentioned. Caravan's a tough one. Sandstorm's a tough one. A couple of the Djinn fights I think are really difficult, but because they're so short, it's only a brief amount of madness needed to win. If those Djinn fights were longer, they would be the hardest ones in the game, because if you get unlucky, you die instantly. All the time. The Djinn fights really fucked me up. And then the Dreamer of the Day, the final level, there's a couple of tricky fights in that. But I had trouble on that level on Crushing, so I've got really good at knowing the spawns and exactly where to go, and all those strategies translated to Brutal really well. So I don't think you'll have too many issues there. Talbot's easy, don't fear Talbot, you'll shit on him. He's a pussy. Like at this point, I think you've done, guys. I think you've won. You know, you might be, you know, fearing some later sections, but don't. You've done the stuff that's really going to test you, I think. Unless you get super unfortunate, and it does happen. And then you've just got your other campaigns, unless you've done them, and this is your final one. And if it is your final one, you've done all the Brutal campaigns, so get you. Not an easy task, that one. If you look at the percentage of people that have the Brutal trophies, it's relatively small. And then when you realise how many of those people cheated to do it, you should feel pretty good about yourself. Because there's not many people that are willing to put up with the game. I went on PlayStationTrophies.org, I think it's called, and you should see the threads on that site about people bitching about Brutal. It's hilarious. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. They call them trophies for a reason, guys. Like, what the fuck? If you're just going to try and do it the easiest possible way you physically can, why not just let somebody else play? You know, it's... What's stopping you from paying people to play games for you? And there's sites where people do that. So, like, what? I don't get it. I get it on one hand. I'd love to work for that site, because I think that'd be a fun job. But I don't get it. Because the whole thing with the trophies is to prove that you did it. And if you didn't do it, what's the fucking point? Like, do you get that? I don't get that. I remember Boost in Darkness multiplayer, which was horrible. We were running flags to get the Dawn achievement. A long time ago, back when I cared about gamerscore. And there was a dude who had, I think, 21,000 gamerscore, and he had 1,000 Gs in everything. And about 5 of the games, he'd let other people do for him, and he'd paid them.
Much worse than this.
It was crazy. I was just like, I don't get it. What's the point? It's like, you know, you gotta get that completion, man. You gotta get that completion. I'm like, but you didn't do it. I don't get it. My brain hurts. I can't talk to you anymore. Oh. But we're coming up on the end of the chapter here. We're gonna avoid death rather narrowly in this interesting sequence. Did you notice how a lot of films had a moment such as that happening in them? A lot of films were doing that. I don't know if this copied them, but there seemed to be a lot of popular culture having these moments where something massive fell and the person survived by just going into a fetal ball and being in a hollow in the design. But here is the random pirate man who started all of this. He shoots the glass, and then it's our task to run out of the sinking cruise liner. And I've enjoyed our time here, but I can understand if you didn't and you're glad to see the back of it. But we get to do the big dramatic jump, and that's the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching, and you take care now.